Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be working on a yoga flow directed towards improving balance. So if you're one of those people that finds yourself stumbling a little bit during your daily life, or even just in a yoga class, you're struggling to keep your balance during a tree pose, this flow is for you. So to begin, come to the top of your mat. Inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, fold your hands in front of your chest. Inhale, tighten the core. And exhale, relax the shoulders down. Just let the breath begin to flow naturally. And allow your mind to wipe free of anything that came before this moment or anything that is to come after, remaining in the present moment. Inhale, bring the arms up above the head. Reach back. And fold forward, reach for your toes. If you can't quite touch your toes, that's okay. Just reach as far as you can go. Hands onto the shins, come up into flat back. Hands to the back of the legs, pull yourself in a little closer. Step your right foot back, left knee bent in runner's pose. We just want to make sure all the weight's going into the leg, hands just there for support. Knee is right above or behind the ankle, not reaching further forward. And you can step that foot back into plank. Bend the elbows straight back, chaturanga. You can hover here or drop the knees and chest down to knees, chest, and toes. And down onto the mat. And here you can either lift up using the core, arms just there for support in baby cobra, or hands meet the shoulders, press up, knees lift off the mat, and upward dog. And flip the feet, sink the glutes back into downward dog. Lift up the right leg. Here we're driving the left heel down, getting a nice calf stretch. And bend the knees, swing it forward into runner's pose. If you need to grab onto your ankle to pull it further forward, that's fine. Once again, we just want to make sure the knee isn't forward past the ankle. And step the other foot forward, standing forward bend. Up in the flat back. And pull yourself in. And roll up, letting each vertebrae extend. Arms come up above the head and sit back into chair. Sitting into the heels and the glutes, you could lift the toes if you wanted to. Shoulders are relaxed down and gazes forward. And release and return to prayer. repeat that sun salutation with the other side. So bring the arms up and lean back. And fold forward, reach for the toes. Up in the flat back. Pull yourself in. Step the left foot back, right knee bent in runner's pose. Step the other foot back in plank. And hover down to chaturanga or drop down to knees, chest, and toes. And flow through. Baby cobra or upward dog. And sink back to downward dog. Lift up the left leg. Bend the knee, bring it forward into runner's pose. And come forward, standing forward bend. Up in the flat back. Pull yourself in a little closer. And roll up, letting each vertebrae extend. Arms come up above the head. Sink down into chair. Up and return to prayer. Bring your arms up. Fold forward, reach for your toes. Come up in the flat back. Pull yourself in a little closer. Plant the hands and step the feet back into plank. Chaturanga to baby cobra or upward dog. Flip the feet and sink the glutes back into downward dog. Lift up the right leg. Bend the knee and swing it forward into runner's pose. Keeping the leg stable, lift straight up into crescent. From here, you can begin to lift off from the back leg and come forward into Warrior Three. Holding the core tight. Comfortable here, stay here, or you can reach forward to that bottom leg, keeping the hands on the mat or on the leg itself in standing splits. Have the right hand and open up into half moon. Back to center. Float back into crescent. Back down into runner's pose. Step the foot back into plank. From here, you can roll onto your right side, keeping the feet beside each other or stacking them. Into side plank, gazing up at that top hand. If you need to modify, you can drop the bottom knee down. And back to plank. Chaturanga to baby cobra or upward dog. And back to downward dog. Lift up the left leg. Bend the knee, swing it forward into runner's pose. And lift straight up into crescent. Once again, you begin lifting off into Warrior Three. Once again, if you're comfortable here, go ahead and stay here or reach forward to standing splits. Plant the left hand, rotate the body open, opening up the chest into half moon. Back to center and float back into crescent. Come down into runner's pose. And step back into plank. From here you can roll into the left side, into side plank. Back to plank. Chaturanga to baby cobra or upward dog. And back into downward dog. Step or jump the feet forward, standing forward bend. Up into flat back. Pull yourself in a little closer. And roll up, letting each vertebrae extend. Arms come up above the head and sink back into chair. And come up. Place the fingers together above the head and come up onto the toes. Reaching up towards the sky. And release it down, come into prayer. Good. From here we're going to do some more standing balance postures. So go ahead and cross your right leg over your left arm over your right, and sink down into a squat-like position in eagle. And return to prayer. And the same on the other side. Left leg over the right, right arm over top of the left, and sink down into eagle. And release, come to prayer. From here, go ahead and lift your right knee up into the chest. If you're comfortable here, you can stay here or take the right hand below the leg and extend the leg forward. If you're comfortable here, you can reach for the toe. You can't quite make the toe, but you're comfortable enough to move on. You can always take a yoga strap. If you don't have one, even a scarf, and wrap it around the bottom of your foot and use that to help it come up. If you're ready to take this a little more advanced, you can take the leg out to the side. Good, and release, and return to prayer. So we're going to do that on the other side. Once again, just working at your own level, wherever that may be. We're going to start with the knee into the chest. You may find you're more balanced on one side than the other. That's perfectly normal. Extend the leg forward if you can. If you like, you can reach for the toe. And if you're comfortable here, you're up for a challenge. You can take the leg out to the side. Very good. Set it down, return to prayer. From here, we're going to try dancer pose. And start with a quad stretch, making sure the knees are right beside each other, pulling the heel into your glutes. Lift up the left arm. Go ahead and reach the inside of that foot and come forward into dancer. Back to a quad stretch. And you can set the arm and leg down, return to prayer. And the other side. Always starting with this quad stretch, getting our legs warmed up. Once again, if you're comfortable, you can reach the inside of that foot, come forward to dancer. Back to the stretch. Release it down, return to prayer. Good. Take those feet a little wider than shoulder width. Sink down in between, keeping the heels down in a low squat. Back up a little bit here, so I have enough room. Feel comfortable here, bring the hands into prayer, using the elbows to press out the knees. Bring the hands back down onto the mat. If you feel comfortable here, you can begin to roll up. Bring the knees up onto the forearms until you feel comfortable, lifting the feet off the ground in crane. So if you're not quite here yet, that's okay. Just keep working on rocking yourself up. If it makes you feel more comfortable, you can put a pillow beneath your head. Slowly release back down. You can sit back onto your mat. We're going to try an inversion today, so make sure you watch first, and then try on your own. For inversions, we never want to turn our head side to side. We start on our mat with our knees bent, low back pressed against the mat. We're going to draw the knees into the chest. And then using the core, hand support if we need to, we'll lift up and bring the feet behind the head. This is plow. And if you're comfortable here, hands against the low back for support if you need it. You can begin to lift the legs up towards the sky in shoulder stand. So go ahead and try on your own. And once again, just always working at your own level. If that's full shoulder stand, awesome, good for you. If that's plow, so good, you're doing awesome. If that's knees into the chest, well done. You are still making great strides in your health, you're doing amazing, and working at your own level is what's most important. ahead and slowly roll out, letting each vertebrae slowly make contact with the mat once again. Good, and we always want to follow our inversions with a back bend. So hands by the side, feet hip distance apart, press up into bridge. If you're comfortable here, you can take the hands by the head and press up into wheel. Back to bridge. Set it down. Well done. That's it for our balance postures. Just to work our legs once more with a nice stretch, we're going to bring it in, reach for the foot, and lift the leg up to the side. Good, and release. Let's stretch it on the other side. Release. All done. Come to a seated position on your mat. Deep breath in. And let it out. And in. And out. Once more, deep breath in. And let it out. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Take a few minutes here just to breathe, to be still, to focus on your breath and to meditate. And I'll see you all next week.